Day 14 of doing it scared. 2 weeks. 2 weeks in. Today I just wanted to talk about being chosen. It's really interesting. This came up a lot in my own psyche and journaling over the weekend. And I, when I was young, when I was really little, and I'm talking between 5 and 10 years old, I couldn't help but think I was chosen for more and I was something special, right? And I think a lot of us at those ages do think that we're something special. I think in a lot of ways we think we are the main characters of our story. And somewhere along the lines, through trauma, through others' insecurities, through the way we are raised, that story of being chosen slowly gets pushed aside, and it slowly is proven to us that we're not the chosen that we thought we were. We're not the person that we thought we could be. We're not as good or as smart or as amazing as we thought that we could show up as and in this world. And it's a real tragedy that so many of us lose it. And most of us, I think, lose it. And there's different ways it shows up, whether that's beating yourself up for the ego or puffing yourself up with the ego, uh, trying to think you're something and feeling like you're all that. And um, I just want to first say that I think that everyone should be the main character of their story. You need to be the main character of your story, because if you're not, then who's going to be the main character of your story? Someone else will. You won't feel great if you put somebody else as your main character. And I always love all those videos that encourage you to show up as the main character in your story, and I think it's so important to work on doing that. For myself, I haven't really felt like the main character of my story for a long time, so I have put myself down. I have put others in front of my own needs for a long, long time. And I still do that. I still struggle with putting my needs last, because that's what I was taught to do. That's what, having a servant's heart and putting others before yourself. And though there's some good knowledge in that, and though there is some wisdom in that, there's a lot of negative that comes from that too, because it's just like that classic, when you're on an airplane and they're telling you, if the oxygen masks come out, you have to put on yours first, so therefore you can help other people. And it's the same way in life. If you don't help yourself first, then you're not going to be able to help other people. If you don't show up in the gym every single day, for myself, I'll just use this example. If I don't show up in the gym and work out and keep my body healthy, I'm not able to show up for my kids as best as I can. I'm not able to run around and play with them. And you can see it throughout society. The amount of people, I'm touching my face a lot today. Maybe I touch my face a lot all the time. You can see it throughout society that a lot of people, they don't go to the gym. They stop going to the gym. Because they're like, oh, I have my family. I have to put my family first before myself. So therefore I can't show up in the gym and I can't do it. But what happens is, over time, their body starts to get heavier. They start to get out of shape. They start to get more unhealthy. They start to need to go to the doctors more. And what they've inadvertently done by putting themselves second, they have put themselves in a worse position. And now as they get older, they're not going to be able to show up for their kids in the way that they want to. And that's for all areas of life. It's not just for parents or whatever, but it's for people in every aspect of life. You need to show up for yourself. If you don't show up for yourself, no one else is going to. And that's why it's so important. We talk about this self-care, and the self-care isn't about pampering yourself and buying yourself gifts and all that. It's not about that. It's about putting in the right food. It's about eating. It's about being healthy. It's about working out. It's about meditating. It's about doing the things that are good for your soul, so you can show up for others. And I think we've twisted it. And we're like, oh, it's so selfish to do those things, to take care of yourself. It's so selfish. Well, you need to be a little selfish. And that, I cringe a little bit saying that, because I grew up and it was like, you have to be selfless, self-sacrifice. Well, I've watched friends and family members self-sacrifice to the point that it's put them in hospitals. that it's made them unhealthy, that it's made them unable to walk, literally. And all for all that just all that preaching that message of, oh yeah, you can't be selfish. And I think it's like, I understand what they're saying. I think the message has just gotten twisted. Because here's the thing, if you are selfish on those things, on the things that feed your soul, if you're selfish on those things, suddenly you can be more selfless than you've ever been. Suddenly you can show up in a way that you have, with more energy, more charisma, more life than you have ever shown up before. Because you've decided, my body matters. The Bible talks about my body being the temple unto the Lord. I use a lot of scripture because I grew up with the Bible, and there's a lot of timeless wisdom in it. I have a lot of challenges with what I believe currently, but I do know that it's really, really important to put yourself first in a lot of areas. And I think I like to use fatherhood or motherhood or being a parent as an example, because being a parent is really, really difficult to put yourself first. First of all, you love your kids more than anything. Like, it would not be hard to die for my kids. It would not be hard to take a bullet for them. It would not be hard. It wouldn't even phase anything in me to do that. And I think often, like, we act like, oh, we're naturally selfish beings, and maybe we are. Maybe that's part of our selfishness, which is like, oh, we need to preserve our own DNA and our bloodline, and we're like protecting that DNA, and there's probably something primal there. I don't know. But the point is that it becomes really hard to still show up and work out, still, like, because all of a sudden your time, when you have kids, your time just feels like it decreases. Like, you have work, you have to spend time with your kids, you have to spend time with your spouse, like all this stuff. And it's just like, all of a sudden it's like you start to put yourself, even if you put yourself first before that, like you start to put yourself last, because just naturally, because you have all these other things. I've been down almost every road and every path, and I've realized that something that I try to keep up is just the simple, like the working out. I need to keep that up. Like, I don't care what I have to do to make sure that happens. I have to make sure that happens, because if I don't show up for myself in just that little way, because I have not done it for years, and what happens is my health declines. I start to not even have energy to hang out with my kids. I start to not be able to go to the park and run around with them or go hiking, because I don't have the energy anymore. And then also what you have to realize is you're setting an example for other people, not just parents, but like when you show up for yourself, when you put yourself first, going to the gym, doing the things you need to do for your soul, you start to set an example to other people. You start to show other people that how important it is to show up for yourself. And trust me, I have a hard time with it. I have a very hard time putting myself first. I put everyone else's schedules and needs and everything else in front of mine so often. And I'm challenging myself here to continue learning to put myself first. And I want to challenge you too. I want you to challenge yourself to put yourself first. So today that can be something simple, right? Today that can be, I'm going to meditate. I'm going to work out. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to take an hour break. Whatever that may be for you, however that looks, do it. And as a bonus, if there's something that you really want to do that you're scared to do it anyway. Do it scared. I want to continue preaching this message. I've been getting some DMs, and it's really exciting to see some of the momentum. And even though like the views and the comments and the likes and all that stuff feels like, oh, why am I doing this? Like putting it on YouTube and you get 2 views. It's like, oh, this doesn't feel good. But I'm not doing it for that. I just have to do this. This is for myself and for my own growth. And it's to get over fears I have. What's really interesting too, and this is a little side tangent that I'll go off and then I'll be done. But what's really interesting too is, all this facial hair, this beard. I used to be really heavy, and I've always struggled with the way I look. I've always struggled with my voice, the way I sound, my facial expressions. It makes me cringe. I don't love it. I don't like listening to myself talk. It's like, I don't like my voice very much, all this stuff, right? And when I get up and show up on this camera and I talk to it, what I'm doing is I'm showing myself some love, and I'm showing myself that no matter how I look, no matter how I sound, it doesn't matter. I'm still loved and I'm still enough. And by showing up here with this beard that I don't love, I honestly don't love the way this looks, but it's funny because I'm literally doing it for the specific reason to be like, I can love myself with a beard. I can love myself with without a beard, and maybe one day I'll be bald, and I can love myself bald. And realizing that, I'm just a human being trying to get through this life. Anyway, that's a side tangent. But um, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Uh, it's going to be interesting over the next couple of weeks to see how this goes. This has been 2 weeks, and I don't like personally feel like there's much that has necessarily changed other than like that consistent showing up for yourself. But I think over the next 100 days, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to change, and it's going to be interesting too because I have a lot of travel coming up towards the later half of September, the early half of October. So it's going to be interesting to see how I can show up and do these. And the travel days are always really long, and I have long filming days. And those are usually, easily like 8 to 5 or 6, maybe 7. Sometimes we're out with the client until 8. So it's like long days. And then I have all the other work that I have to do on top of the travel. So it's going to be interesting to see how I can keep these up. But already I'm spewing the insecurity and anxieties about the future that isn't here yet. So there's no need to do that. Today I'm going to remain here in this present and just be grateful for the ability to speak, the ability to see, the ability to hear, the ability to show up, and keep doing these videos, even though I feel trepidation and I feel anxiety and I feel like there's not really a reason to do this. Like there's other people that have a better message, that there's people who are smarter than me, stronger than me, better looking than me, and more articulate than me, and they can help more people, whatever all the insecurities are. I'm going to continue showing up and doing this because I made the commitment, and I don't know where it will lead, but that's okay. It's not about where it will lead. It's just about doing the thing. And this is a scary thing for me. So I'm going to continue doing it scared. It's day 14 of doing it scared, 2 weeks in. I'm grateful for all the people that have been following along on this journey. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes for the next however many days. And I'm just excited. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I hope you, wherever you are, you have a beautiful day, night, whatever time it is, wherever you are, just have just an amazing day. And I wish nothing but the best and your greatest good for you. Thank you.